For more on this tragedy, I'm joined tonight by Josh Phelps. He's the former director of relief operations at World Central Kitchen and a former colleague of Zami Francom, one of the 7 aid workers killed in this strike. Josh, first off, I am so sorry for your loss. I can't imagine what you're going through right now. I know you and Zami had remained friends since you last worked together during a mission in Haiti. How did you find out about the news, and what went through your mind?
Somebody internally at World Central Kitchen called me and at the same time sent me, I want to say the Instagram post from IOM Middle East with the passports and the body bags yesterday around 5:30 Eastern.
And what was that moment like for you?
Shocking, devastating. I was with my mom in a park down in Southeast Virginia. I'm in DC now. She knew her. A lot of people knew her friends and family, and it was, tragic, shocking, but not shocking enough, considering where she was and whether or not she should have been there. So, just a lot to process.
Josh, what was she like? I mean, what compelled someone like Zami to go into a place like Gaza and risk her life to help these people?
Zami wanted just to help people and make her life about traveling the world, helping people. And she did this, she joined World Central Kitchen in 2018 in Guatemala and had just been promoted, was living in Asia. Just super excited about the life she was making over there. She was on the other half of the world again, where her family and friends are. What compelled Zami was what compelled most people who work for World Central Kitchen. She would go anywhere. What's troublesome is that, layers of management didn't stop her from going there. Zami's not a volunteer, she was an employee. So as we all grieve and we're grieving, I think we need to, hopefully the organization takes a step back to review, what they're doing with these people who just want to make the world and the organization proud and serve people.
Josh, I noticed you mentioned that in your first answer, and now you've said it again, so I think it's fair to ask you about this. Are you essentially saying you might be upset that Zami and the other aid workers for World Central Kitchen were allowed to operate in Gaza, which was incredibly dangerous?
Of course. If they have 70 kitchens set up, why did they need members of the core team there? Other members of the core team weren't there. So I just think, these are just questions that will be asked. And I know everyone feels terrible. And it is a volunteer-driven organization in many ways, but Zami was not a volunteer. Damien was not a volunteer. They weren't members of the May They Rest in Peace security team that was with them.
Why do you think that decision was made? Do you think it's because the need was so great that they needed people from the actual organization in there?
I don't know. That's a good question. I hope we get an answer to that. As we all grieve and, send out our love to Zami, Damien, and the other folks. I don't know their names. But I do think it's something that people should start talking about.
Our Richard Engel spoke with Zami, as we heard in Raf's piece just last month, about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. We have some more from that interview. Let's take a listen.
The situation in Gaza is, as we all know, incredibly bad. It's going to require all of us working together, making efforts as these any way possible to bring meals into Gaza. So if that's C-130, overland, by sea, whatever it is that we can do, World Central Kitchen will be there.
Josh, I've met a lot of people from World Central Kitchen. I had an opportunity to interact with some of the teams in Ukraine. Incredible work all over the world. And it's interesting. You mentioned you met her or when she started in Guatemala, or you knew her from then, and then Haiti and all these other countries, and ends up in Gaza. It's been my experience that the workers of World Central Kitchen are not cowboys. They do not go out there because they are thrill seekers. They go out there because they personally want to help people. Is that the type of person Zami was as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Heart of service. She was doing remote school in Guatemala and then caught the bug, as we all caught with World Central Kitchen, and handing people a plate of food and that immediate impact you make on people who are in dire need. And, just today, her immigration lawyer, her help with her work visa 5 years ago, reached out. She touched and made an impact on everybody. And she deserves to be doing that for decades more, whether with World Central Kitchen or otherwise. And so I just, as hard as it is today, just to talk to as many people as I can celebrating her life and looking forward to her homecoming, to her family, and just celebrating the bright light that she was in so many lives.
Josh Phelps, a friend of Zami who died in that Israeli airstrike on the World Central Kitchen, aid workers there. We appreciate your time, and again, I am so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.